Hey, and welcome back. It's a very rainy Tuesday. I hope everybody is staying dry, but also I hope that you don't have any lingering effects of Hurricane Tropical Storm Debby. Because of that, our judges has canceled the rest of the week, which will finish up today, Tuesday, but then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, just an abundance of caution, they're not going to have court. Last week, after this taping, I met with our new Chief Justice, and we talked about some of the stuff that was going on not only in Horry and Georgetown counties, but some of the stuff that is affecting us as an entire state. And our new Justice, Chief Justice, he's from Spartanburg, but of course the Supreme Court is in Columbia. His name is John Kittredge. He's going to be an excellent Supreme Court Chief Justice. Don Beatty was our prior Justice, Chief Justice, who did an incredible job on getting us some technology and bringing South Carolina up along with some of the other states as far as technology in the courtroom. Now, I could see this transitional period, and what I was talking to Chief Justice Kittredge about is some of every change is going to have good and bad. And one of the things is the sentencing sheets. Anybody that's ever been in courtroom will see any defendant that pleads guilty or is convicted at a trial, there's a sentencing sheet, and it was 1 page long. And that sentencing sheet said, Mr. Smith pled guilty or was convicted of burglary in the 2nd degree, and here's the sentencing range, and there's all of that information. One of the last things that happened is that they changed that sentencing sheet to capture more information, and now the sentencing sheet is 3 pages long as opposed to 1 page long. A lot more information, but also, and probably even tougher, is instead of having an actual sheet of paper, now it's uploaded on a computer, and the judge clicks a few buttons on the computer and moves forward. Don't sound like a lot, but if you think about 10,000 warrants in Horry County and 2,000 in Georgetown, you're tripling the paperwork. And the bigger thing that's happening, and I thank goodness I bring all of this up to say, Chief Justice Kittredge has said, whoa, let's pump the brakes and let's make sure we need all of that extra paperwork. Let's go and ask the solicitor in Spartanburg. Let's ask the solicitor in Gaffney and Horry and figure out, and let's talk to the defense bar, is this necessary? Because there was not a lot of talk early on with any of the people that were involved in this before it was sort of hoisted upon everybody. So it's all a good thing. Technology is a great thing, but we've got to be able to adjust when we see the ripple effects that are coming along with it. And before, we went from handing up a sheet of paper to now it's got to be done on a computer. It invariably happens with almost every plea where a person would say, hey, everything is right about this. The guy did commit this crime. He does owe a lot of money in probation for restitution to the victims. But the amount of money, instead of $750, is really $743. Any other time we would have scratched through the $7 mistake and passed it up and said, Judge, carry on. Now you've got all of this stuff uploaded, and the judge is responsible for changing a lot of those things, and he doesn't know about it until we announce it in the middle of the plea. Before, we would have all of that taken care of. Anyway, very little things, but all of those things trigger inefficiency in court. So hats off to the new Chief Justice for saying technology is great, let's pump the brakes a second and figure out if we need all of this new information. Somehow we've done without it for 70 years. Why are we throwing this on it now? So let's be very much in prayer for him. and in prayer for Chief Justice Beatty and his retirement after many decades of service. And we all wish Chief Justice Kittredge well, because this is important if you're the victim of a crime. This is important if you are in a civil suit. You don't need it until you need it, but you want it to run efficiently when it does. So thank goodness we've got people that care enough to pump the brakes, look at everything, and make sure that we measure twice and cut once. I hope you are all safe from the tropical storm or hurricane that is scheduled to come in tomorrow. And certainly we'll be back with you again next week.